Hello and good day to you. Today's video, we are demonstrating the use of a stencil in making a single motif in our stenciling technique of 12 Crafts of Cardmaking. For this technique, we'll need copier paper. This will help us when we are painting, when we place our card and our stencil over it so that we don't smear the work surface. We need a scoreboard. It's optional. I'm using the easy scoreboard and a scoring tool. This is optional too. Wipes. Okay, to clean your stencil, but I prefer to wash my stencil. You need a palette plate or just flat plate so that you can put the colors in. And we'll be using acrylic paints. This is made by Crelando. It's in Lidl. Can't remember the price, but I think it's about around $2.99 or within $1.99 to $2.99 for the 12. Can't remember that, but if you check, you see them. And we need brushes. This brush is in Lidl. Let me get it. This is a fan brush. I think you can see it okay. Fan brush. There are 9 in the set, and they have a very long handle. If you've watched previous video, you see me using the round ones. And we need the flat ones too. These are the flat ones. In the flat ones, there are 12 in the set. Why the fan has 9 in the set. So we need, I'm using the Plaid Crafts stencil, and this is peony. You can see that the stencil is so large. That's because it's for a wall. I'm using a portion of the stencil for this project. And we'll also need a card. This hammered card, 300 grams. You can use watercolor card because we're going to color in. I'll use that. And this is the design we're going to make. We're just going to paint a section of the flower, the peony. And I'll paint, instead of painting the full peony in plain color, in the same color like how I did here, I'll paint the bottom part, the open petals in green. And we need a masking tape. It's optional too. If you want to, you can still use masking tape to place the stencil over the card. So to start, I'm just going to place the card and score on the A4 half fold. put this aside so that they don't distract us. And because it's a heavyweight card, I'm going to flip vertically and then score at the back again so that it breaks easily. And when I fold, it's crease easily, and I won't have and by the time I burnish, it's going to be nice. The nice edge. So working on the front of the card, so I'll place the paper on the work surface or my cutting mat so that I don't stain it, and I'll place the front of the card on the paper. Because it's a large stencil, you can decide whatever size, whatever portion of the image you want. So I'm just going to rotate it a bit. Because I have more of this bottom part that I want to put, I want to use green for. I have a little of it showing. So with the masking tape, I'm just going to, not the card, but just the stencil to the paper, to the copier paper. So I'm going to place it and make sure I don't stick the card, because I want the paint to go to the edge of the card. That's not flat. Your stencil should be flat. If not, the paint will go under it. So one that, and I'm just going to put a little here. This is a very detailed stencil, as you can see, so it's necessary pinning some parts down. So we've done that for our stencil. Just going to get the colors. So using these 4 colors, I'm using teal green, indigo blue, sky blue, and white. I'm not going to use water for it, although if you're using watercolor, it's nice. I just want to place this properly. I'm not going to use water to thin it. I'll use brush strokes to thin the paint instead. So you can do whatever technique you want to and you're comfortable with. If you desire, you can use watercolors. I'm going to paint the blue first. So I'll put a little of the indigo blue. Then the sky blue. And I'll put a little white here. With the mid brush, the flat brush, the mid, this size 7, you can use any size you desire. That can depend on the detail you want. I'm going to go into one petal after the other. That's because I want the stroke. I just don't want to paint over it. You can use, if you don't have flat brush, you can also use, so that you don't give you in an edge, but I don't mind the edge. If you want to use another brush, you can use a scruffy brush so that you can stipple into it. You can even use foams instead of brushes. So I'll put a little of the blue and a little of indigo blue on one side, indigo and the sky blue on the other side. On one half of the brush and the sky blue on the other half of the brush. And I'm just going to switch to mix them, and I'll add a little white in the middle, and I'll switch. I'm going to do same. Just to give shading effect. So we'll just switch. And then I'll start painting. I'll go into one petal first. Work it. And I'll come back out. I can use the other side of the brush because there's still paint. And I'll do same and work on the second petal. The brush stroke will give a kind of direction to the flower. As it indicates some veins to it. And the veins of the flower gives that direction, you know, it shows the direction of the flower. So I'm just going to add a little bit of dark blue highlights. And just brush it. You just add a little to the tip, and you can go and not holding the brush flat, but instead the 90-degree angle, just make vertical strokes on it. It gives a nice effect to the petal, and mind the direction. So I'll just put this aside, and I'll mix for the green. Just put this here. So for the green, I'll put a little of the green. I'm just going to mix it in this part here that I've smudged the white and the blue, that I mix the blue in. And I'll come with a large brush. You can use any brush that you're comfortable with. I'll dip half of the white in, half of the paintbrush in white, and the other side in green, and I'm just going to smudge them together. I don't need to. And I'll have a little of the blue in there if I want to. Just going to put a little. I want a bit of the black one. It's optional. It's not compulsory. You must put a little of the blue in the green color. So I'm just going to paint and follow the direction of the petal. This one is not flat, and I don't want the color going under. I'm going to be careful. Then I'll add a little of just the green on its own without mixing to add shading. And still holding the brush in angle 90. I'm going to dip it into the paint and then brush on the petal to make some strokes on it. You can use a fan brush for this if you want to. We just paint only the base of the petal. We don't need to paint the tip. So that the light part of the petal, this leafy part, we make so that the light green, the lighter shade is on the tip of the petal, while the part that is closer to the flower, the blue flower, we have a darker shade there. With the fan brush, I'm using size 1. With the fan brush, I'm going to dip into the white. I'm just going to remove a lot of and I'm just going to just do some little strokes, still on a vertical, just to put some little strokes on the peony, on the blue part of the peony. You don't need to put too much white, just a little highlight. As if a little bit of white is bouncing into the flower. And still on 90 degree, just dip it and make vertical strokes. We'll do the same, remove excess paint from it. We just want vertical stroke. If you don't want to use the brush, you can use, now I'm making it switch down. If you don't want to use a fan brush, you can use a liner brush or a scribber. This scribber or scribbler. You can also put it, if you don't want to go on 90 degree, you can go on 45 degree angle and just switch it down, and it will give a nice vein-like effect. So I just brush over all so that it helps to remove the excess, while it gives a nice petally vein. And we are through. Just want to make sure I've covered every part of it. Okay. So I'll take off my masking tape and be very careful about that, so that I don't rip some part of this stencil. I'll need to wash my stencil. This colored on the stencil was when I used it for fabric and I didn't wash the stencil, so the fabric paint dried on it. I will have to try nail polish remover or acetone to see. I just hope it don't damage my stencil. I will try a little portion of it first. So here's our card. And if you take a look at it, it's like a close photo. It's like a close shot of a peony flower, and you can see the veins. That's because we did the and you can see the veins. That's because we used the white to highlight it a bit using the fan brush, and also when we were using the brushes, we used the dark blue to highlight this other part so that the white can show. While the brush was on 90 degree, we made some dark strokes on it so that it's not too thick. And then on the green part or the leafy part, we use the dark green 90 degree to just put some shadows to darken the other part. And then we came in with the white fan brush, 90 degrees and 45 degrees. First of all, 90 degrees to put some veins in, and 45 degree to make the feathery effect perfect. So I just put it back on the white background that you see it properly, and I'll leave it to dry. Put a white copier paper at the back because my work surface or my cutting mat is green. We have a little bit of green. We have green on this on the card. I don't want it to camouflage. I want you to see. I don't want it to camouflage. I want you to see the design. So thanks for joining me for this video of 12 crafts of card making, the technique of stenciling used as a single motif in our greeting card design. You can visit the blog anino.ogunjobi.com to keep up with what's happening in the crafting industry. And until next time, happy crafting, happy designing, and bye for now. Thank you.